So 2021, we've gone beyond, hindsight is 2020. So we're looking at the future and we're in it. Now, people are looking at each other under a different kind of macro scope. And it's getting weird. We're starting to see the clones of ourselves playing out the things that we wish we were more notable for. You can look into the face of another person and see yourself, and it will look so much like you that you wonder if it's a clone. Not necessarily. But we are cloning ourselves and our spirits, and we're starting to hone in on features that are so alike to us that we become fixated. It's like, oh, the first time I saw a yellow Volkswagen Bug, that's what I wanted. And then I saw them everywhere, or a version of them. We're starting to see ourselves in people in the physical manifestation through the digital manifestation, which is the greater intelligence getting us to see ourselves. And so the weird place that this brings us to is, do you want to be jealous, or do you want to try harder? Now, what are we trying harder for? I mean, obviously we're all dying for attention on some level, and isn't that weird? Dying for attention, what does that even mean? Like, we'd rather go to hell and be tortured because at least we're feeling something down there, even though we're burnt out, than not be seen at all. And one of the greatest fears, I think, in every person is that they're not seen, they're not heard, and they're not unique. Even though we know deep down each and every person is unique, it's whether or not we build a culture of honoring that and supporting it. So there's a really big battle happening right now, especially about the uniqueness and the validity of your experience and what it means, and that's fighting the abuse and how valid that is, and what that means, and how it changes you, and what the trauma looks like deep down. It's interesting. It's interesting that we're in such a place with so much knowing and so much ability to observe and still be caught into some weird cycles. I know that the people that I know who have kids really just want them to live in the best world that they can, and overall acknowledge where they didn't receive what they needed or wanted when they were young. But I also see the selfishness of all ourselves, acknowledging that we didn't get what we needed and we want to make up for it. I do it, and I don't even have kids. I see a desire to have a title to justify behavior, succumbing to whatever that is in order to feel healthy, or at least pretend to. I see that nature around me keeps on going and giving regardless of whether or not we pay it attention. And that's funny, because the geese in the park are going to continue to fly and look for food, even if nobody's feeding them in the park. But if nobody feeds me, or I don't think about feeding myself, then I'll probably starve. And I'll be thinking profound things all day long, but I might not get out of bed. And half the only reason I feel a motivation to do anything in the day is because I have animals that I love and I'm responsible to them, and I want them to have a good life. And peace comes in pieces. So, what's going on here? What is going on in the greater construct that intelligent people can finally have the platform to say, I am in magnanimous amounts of pain and confusion at times, and I'm sick of pretending because this is a problem. And everywhere I look it says ask for help, but nothing feels like safe enough to submit into trust that it will be helpful beyond what I know I can do for myself. And people will look at the way I live my life and say, I won't guess what they'll say, but they'll judge it for sure that I could be doing more and better and different. You're right, I probably could. But you don't know where I'm at right now, and I'm exhausted, and I don't want to be there, even though I love what I'm seeing. I love having the experience of this, but I've reached a threshold where now I just want to cry all the time, and I don't feel comfortable with that. And I mean, I want to cry a lot, and it's interesting. It's like, I don't know, 11 years ago I felt like screaming. Now I feel like crying. It took me that long to move through those periods of visceral expression, and I'm still not doing a lot of crying. And back then I didn't do the screaming I really wanted to do, so that probably means I haven't faced it all. It's still building up.